Welcome to Get to the Hook. I am your co-host, Charles Latibeaudiere.
And I'm your co-host, Eric Colley.
And this week, the hook, strip clubs.
Strip clubs.
Because they have been a big topic of conversation for NBA fans and sports fans in general because of an event that was supposed to be going down this just a few days from now at an Atlanta Hawks game where they were going to celebrate a club called Magic City, a wonderful, magical,
You've been there.
Fantastical place called Magic
But you have
City.
been to Magic City, right?
I have not been
I
to
thought
Magic.
you had.
No, I've not actually been to Magic City. I've been to a few Atlanta gentlemen's clubs, but I have not been to Magic City. I have not had the honor. But the reason they were going to do this event, and we don't normally have breaking news on Get to the Hook, but we have some breaking news as we are sitting down to record this. The Atlanta Hawks have capitulated, and they have canceled the Magic City night. This has been talked about for about a week now, and the reason they announced that they were going to do it, and they were very excited, and they talked about why they were doing it.
And they said there weren't going to be strippers at the game. It wasn't about that. It was about
strippers at the game. It was more about the culture.
About music, which is why we're talking about it. We're going to get into the music. Wings, their lemon pepper wings, they're very famous for.
Yep, they're famous for the food. They're famous for the music. The DJ that's there is very famous. T.I., who is a frequent customer of Magic City, was going to perform at the Hawks game. But there were people who were very upset about this. In particular, a San Antonio Spurs player, Luke Cornett.
He said it was disrespectful to women.
Yeah, he felt that this celebrating strip clubs is not what we should be doing at NBA games. Never mind the fact that lots of NBA players go to strip clubs. But anyway,
I think they should have had the night. I kind of see his point that if you're saying this is a family event, even though there's going to be no stripping, the kids are going to be like, what is Magic City? Especially Magic City sounds
that
like
name in particular.
Disney World to kids. They'll be like, ooh, let's go to Magic City. I kind of see his point, and Al Horford jumped in with him from the Golden State Warriors and agreed with Luke. But so they've canceled it, which is crazy also. That the backlash must have been so bad because ticket sales for that night had gone up 84% because of the Magic City tribute.
It had the backlash had to be so severe. I mean, there must have been calls going directly to the Hawks about this, and maybe even from a lot of season ticket holders, because the reality is in Atlanta, and this is just a fact, that strip clubs and strip club culture, the music, yes, some of the dancers become very famous. That's all part of Atlanta's pop culture scene.
It is. It's a very big part of it.
Which is why the Hawks were going to celebrate it. So for them to sort of turn their backs on that part of the community in Atlanta is a big deal. So it must have been a huge backlash. And we spoke last week on TMZ Live. I spoke to the owner or the son of the owner of Magic City,
Juju Barney,
and also to one of the dancers, and they said, "Look, we're not trying to show up there and have scantily clad women in front of." They understood how it had to be, toned down, but I guess that wasn't enough. So anyway, all of that to say.
But still, a big part of it, like you said, is the music.
The music is a huge part of any. Let's put it this way: of any nightclub, music is a big deal. It is also particularly a very big deal at gentlemen's clubs, strip clubs,
and a lot of it now is hip hop. There's also we're going to play some rock today, some sort of jazz adjacent music. We're going to get to some strip club classics. Some of these songs are iconic. And some went to number one. Some maybe you haven't heard
some
before.
Some of them charted, and some are just famous for.
They just defined strip clubs for generations, different generations.
Yes. So we should be clear that this show is family approved.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing. It's just music. There's not going to be anything. Don't worry about it.
Charles is not stripping or sliding down a pole.
I'm not stripping. That's not.
I've got some singles in case you want to, though. I brought that just in case.
Thank you. All right.
Actually, I will pay you. The more I pay you, the more I want you to keep on. Let's go back. I always like to go back to the history of things. Let's go back to the 90s.
Okay.
The 1890s.
Oh.
You know how I do. Yeah, the maybe not the first strip club. I mean, you wouldn't call it that, but let's acknowledge the Moulin Rouge. Long before the 2001 Baz Luhrmann movie, the Moulin Rouge is a real place. It is still in Paris. It's a tourist attraction there now, which, again, it's a family-friendly tourist attraction. Kind of what happens with a lot of these things, sort of. But it opened in 1889 in Paris and was scandalous because women there, men and women, but particularly the women, would do the can-can. Which was the original strip club anthem, the dun 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 dun. And the women would throw their skirts up and do kicks and high steps. And the really, really salacious thing was they would wear these pantalettes, like the big embroidered pants that you'd see under the skirts back then. Pantalettes were usually crotchless. So for a second, they'd flip their dresses up. And
I just got done telling everybody this was a family-friendly podcast, Eric, and now you're talking about crotchless
pantalettes in the 1890s. But it was like a peep show. You get a real quick flash of it. That's why they called it flashing. I don't know. But it was never banned, but people got arrested for it. It was just a scandal that rocked Europe in the 1890s, but it was very, very popular, of course.
So who did they bring in to score said shows?
I don't know. Well, I guess.
Did they have a DJ? I guess they wouldn't have had
They would have
DJ.
had record. I think they would have had gramophones then.
Probably a gramophone.
So just put the can on a gramophone. But if you dance too hard, you're going to make it skip. So I don't know. So yeah, little acknowledgement to the Moulin Rouge, which also the more respected versions that came out of entertainment were burlesque and cabaret. Those are seen as strip club adjacent, but the more respected version.
Which is what you get when you go to the Moulin Rouge now.
You get a burlesque show or a cabaret performance. But it was kind of the first strip club. And it showed people have always been into this. Let's jump further ahead now, but still a long time ago, 1958. When one of the most iconic stripper anthems of all time was recorded. It sounds very different than what you might expect to hear nowadays. It was recorded in 1958. It was not released until 1962. It was an artist named David Rose, an instrumental song that's slightly jazz adjacent, came out of that late 50s jazz scene. Went to number 1 on the Hot 100 in 1962. Billboard ranked it as the 5th biggest hit of the year. This was a number 1 hit. And if I tell you David Rose, the name probably means nothing to you. The song is called The Stripper, and you're like, I've never heard of that. When you hear it, yes, you have heard it. This is The Stripper. I mean, for decades, that trombone slide was synonymous with stripping. Because it was used in so many movies, TV shows. Even a children's program was inspired by it. So some of the movies that used it...
Okay, you need to explain that.
I'm gonna get there. Slapshot, the Paul Newman hockey movie from 1977, had a very iconic scene where there's a big fight on the ice. Of course, it's a hockey game. And one of the guys, to break the tension, starts skating around and stripping off his uniform and his pads and everything, and they play that song.
Right.
The full Monty used it because, of course, they did. You have to pay tribute to that. Family Guy has used it. Noxzema shaving cream commercials used it about taking off hair. Take it off. And Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas and Friends, the British show, the kids show, Thomas the Tank Engine. Now, this is only alleged, but it is. One of the characters on Thomas the Tank Engine was Daisy the Diesel Rail Car. And all the trains had their own little theme music. And Daisy the Diesel Rail Car's theme song is very clearly inspired by The Stripper. It's got the horn hit. And
you are trying... listen.
I'm not the one who did it.
You are trying to make me say some stuff that I shouldn't say.
Go ahead. What?
About Daisy and trains.
But how she had that caboose?
and cabooses and... so they used like a version of The Stripper?
It's very clearly inspired by it. It's a sound-alike. It's too similar to be coincidental. But, that's a joke, a little nod from the creators, which this was, I think, in the 80s or 90s they must have done that. So the song was already decades old. Kids aren't going to get it.
Was Thomas crushing on Daisy?
I don't know. I didn't watch that show. But
anyway.
I don't know. But, so The Stripper was...
I will not be doing any research on that.
The Stripper was the default go-to song for stripping throughout the 60s, the 70s, into the 80s, to the point that it helped introduce one of the songs that would replace it as the default strip song. 1987, Motley Crue, the hair metal gods of debauchery, released their album Girls, Girls, Girls. They go on the worldwide Girls, Girls, Girls tour, and at the beginning of every show, they would play The Stripper by David Rose, just to kind of set the scene. And then they came out with the song that became the strip anthem of the 80s. Well, one of two. This song, Girls, Girls, Girls.
Walking in Atlanta, had a title to tell.
first moved to LA, the first time I was down the Sunset Strip, I drove past the Seventh Veil. It's still there.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, this is the Motley Crue thing. It's still there. It's a real place.
Yeah. When you realize that they are name checking actual, and growing up in New York, I didn't know that these were actual clubs.
I thought they were making stuff up.
That they were.
I was in West Virginia. I was further removed than you were. We had the Simply Hot Gentlemen's Club down the street, and it was in an old trailer, and I'm not making that up. I never went there. But
can't imagine why you wouldn't have.
I was afraid I might see one of my teachers or something, you know. You never know.
Yeah, those are actual, every club they name there.
And they shouted out Tattletale in Atlanta. They knew Atlanta was the hot spot.
Atlanta, Tampa, and LA are the three cities they really call out.
Yeah.
They left out Dallas. And I'm just saying, I think
is that a hotbed for strip clubs?
Sure. That's where
You've been there, right?
That's where Anna Nicole met J. Howard Marshall.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Strip clubs, not my thing. The first time I went to one, I actually was on a work trip, and a friend wanted to go, so I went with him. Right. And he thought it'd be funny to get me a lap dance, which I'm an introvert. I'm like, this is weird. But the thing that ruined it, I mean, she was good looking, so I'm sitting there, and she's like in front of me, and she bends over, like touches her toes, and arches her back, and like kind of puts her head up and slides up my chest to my ear. And I swear, she goes,
you have a very
she purred in my ear.
You have a very detailed memory of this.
I do, because suddenly I was like out of the moment, and I was like, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. She purred in my ear, and I just wanted to like giggle.
And you wanted to laugh.
And then she did it to the other side, and I was like, oh, why is she purring in my ear? This is not hot. What is this? Oh, I was like, this is not my scene. I just, like, I wanted to giggle so bad. And the last time I went to one was, like, I was married. My wife had some friends, some guy friends, like a bunch of like fratty bro dudes she knew in high school in Florida were in LA. And like, oh, you guys should come hang out with us. So we did. They all got drunk. I wasn't, because I drove. So I'm stone cold sober. And they're like, let's go to the strip club. It's around the block. So we go to one.
Good. It's never
in Santa
good
Monica.
To be stone cold sober.
No, and it's worse because of
it's horrible.
Never go with your wife or girlfriend. Not because something bad's going to happen. I'll tell you why. Because this girl, her shift got done. She walks by our table, and my wife's like, I love your bikini. And she goes, oh, I designed it myself. I'm starting my own line.
And then she sits down, and there's a whole conversation going on.
They exchange numbers.
Yep.
I'm like, no.
This is accurate. This is very sound advice.
Because strip clubs with girls is very different. And not because they're going to judge you or think you're a pervert. Because they're like, oh, I love her shoes. No, you don't need to be friends.
Please do not give your phone number to this.
And she did. It wasn't great.
So girls.
girls. Motley Crue.
Definitely is, to me, it's now the anthem.
And one of the first songs, not just a song that worked in strip clubs, it was about strip clubs. And that's something we're going to see with some of these songs going forward, especially a lot of the hip-hop songs. They are specifically made for the strip clubs. They're about the strip clubs. But I said Girls, Girls, Girls was one of two of the defining anthems of that era. The other one, to me,
This has to be...
You know what this is. Came out in 87, hit number 2 in 1988.
Well, maybe I don't. Maybe
hair metal era.
Maybe I'm not thinking of the same.
Oh, what are you thinking of?
Oh, you're going Def Leppard here.
Of course, I'm going Def Leppard. Def Leppard.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
So many girls in lucite heels came out to this song. This is Pour Some Sugar on Me. I mean, that was just made for strip clubs.
Yeah, crowd pleaser.
What were you thinking of?
I thought you were going Atlanta, that you're going to pick like something from the So Def, Little Jermaine Dupri.
Well, we're getting into the hip-hop stuff.
We'll get there. All right.
Because 1985, around the time these songs were coming out, slightly before, something happened in Atlanta. Magic City opened.
Ring. By the way, there is an incredible, I shouldn't say because I'm probably going to get it wrong. I think it's Stars. There's a documentary about Magic City, and it's not just about... In fact, there's very little of the actual strippers performing, but it's about the history of it and its place in Atlanta's culture, and it is really interesting. And
it is. Well, that's what we're going to get into, because I'm sure when Magic City opened in '85, within a couple of years, they were playing Motley Crue and Def Leppard. They might still every once in a while. They probably still work into the rotation there as the classics. But also around that same time, hip hop starts to take off, and not just nationally, but specifically in Atlanta. Like you said, you got Jermaine Dupri. You had all these artists. Usher comes out of Atlanta. All these big acts are coming up. So
Outkast.
That's the cultural part of it, is that Magic City could then break these new artists who could get their songs played in the club where lots of people would hear it, specifically like big NBA players. Like like
Oh, yeah.
powerful, influential people
Shaq went
were
there
hearing
a
these
lot.
songs.
Yeah.
So you start having all these big strip club anthems that came out of R&B and hip hop in the 90s. Pony by Genuine. I mean, that song's a classic banger. Yin Yang Twins, Salt Shaker, the whole crunk scene, Lil Jon, all that. Waka Flocka Flame, No Hands. That was a big one, which I'm sure that's something strippers say a lot. No hands. Hey, buddy, no hands. Kaya, remember My Neck, My Back?
Yes.
That song's 20 plus years old, and I still blush every time I hear it. And one of the classics, this came out of New Orleans, but made its way to Atlanta and all over the country from 1999, Juvenile, featuring Manny Fresh and Lil Wayne, Back That Ass Up. Spelled A-Z-Z.
Yes, of course.
I mean, that song still works. That's such a good song.
That is definitely an anthem. And, you got to look. They didn't hide it. There was no subtlety in it.
No,
it was like,
not at all.
This is what the song's about. And it was a vibe.
It's still a vibe.
It's still a vibe even outside of strip clubs.
And it works in just regular clubs.
Yes.
It just works if you're just driving down the street. That song is just...
Well, I don't know if you want anybody backing their ass up while you're driving.
Well, no, I mean, just to play in the car, though.
Right.
And then Lil Wayne, who was on that song, was featured on another strip club classic. This one came out in 2012. 3 6 Mafia, Juicy J from 3 6 Mafia goes solo, gets Lil Wayne on a song that is very explicitly for the strip clubs and for ballers. Ballers with a lot of cash. This is Bands That Make Her Dance.
Bands that make her dance. Bands that make her dance. These chicks clapping and they ain't using hands.
These chicks clapping and they ain't using hands. Bands.
What does that mean?
Could be $1,000. Could be $2,000 in a band. You got a little band around it. If you're a high roller, I suppose.
Yeah, if you're a high roller. I don't know.
You could write a check. I mean...
The whole idea,
What?
It's just weird. The whole bands of that you always see in the music videos, and you see guys with just stacks of whatever denomination.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never gone into one of those clubs with someone who's balling like that,
like fanning out a big wad of cash and just making it rain.
Even if I've gone with people who could, it's just a whole different level of showiness.
Yeah.
To walk in and like pull out stacks of the entertainers when they go in, they do that because they're expected. The dancers expect big tips, and the club treats them nicer because they're going to do that. That's not for the average customer.
No, and I know through TMZ over the years we used to get video from strip clubs all the time, and if it was like a big celebrity was in there, like an NBA player or a rapper or an actor or just somebody really famous, really rich would go in with like duffel bags of cash.
Right.
And I remember just sometimes seeing that video where it looks like confetti.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, that's money. those are bills.
It's very real money, as the dancers will tell you.
Yeah, and it's just floating around in the air. It's like one of those like tubes, where you go in and the money flies up around you. You got to grab as much as you can. Not for me. No. For so many reasons.
The one job I always see is the person who has to go around sweeping up all the money. It's like,
in the trash bags.
Like the money is one thing, like as far as how clean it is, but then also the floor and you're like,
yeah. Juicy J is kind of a strip club legend himself. I mean, if he only did Bands That Make Her Dance, that's some strip club legendary status there. Some of his other big hits that worked in strip clubs: Spend It, Bounce It. He had a kind of whole theme going, and he did a featured rap on the softer side of strip club anthems, because sometimes it's not just about telling the girl to shake it or do various things.
Yeah,
sometimes there's some feelings involved.
You want to set the mood.
So Atlanta's own son, Usher, featuring Juicy J in 2014, released this song where he's not judging and he loves her no matter what. This is I Don't Mind.
If you dance on a pole, that'll make you a hoe, shawty, I don't mind.
Get your money. That's what he says in the chorus. Get that money, money, money. Because if she dances on a pole, Charles, that don't make her a hoe.
Exactly. See, Usher, he found the subtle side of...
That's right. It's just entrepreneurship. Yeah. But I don't think
or
that
another way, a different way to shoot your shot.
Yeah, maybe. But that's maybe like a solid number 2 on the sentimental stripper anthem vibe. I think number 1, we all know what it is. Top 5 hit, 2006, T-Pain, I'm in love with a stripper.
I'm in love with a stripper. She poppin', she rollin', she rollin'. She climbin' that pole, and I'm in love with a stripper. She trippin', she playin'.
think a lot of guys think that, but the stripper is not in love with them.
No. It's
No.
a very hard and sometimes expensive lesson that some guys have to learn.
Yeah.
They are there working. They're there to make money.
You sound like you're talking from experience there.
No, not me. I've never
Caught
been
some feelings?
I've never been disillusioned that way, but
Yeah.
I've had some friends who were definitely disillusioned.
No,
No, stop partying with your money that way. It's not.
she doesn't love you.
No.
She might like you, all right.
Yeah.
She doesn't love you.
This is for entertainment purposes, sir, and that is it.
But to talk about how integral music has become to strip clubs and strip club culture, and specifically in Atlanta, did you know, Charles, in August of 2025, last summer,
Okay.
Billboard, the authority on charts, created a strip club song and artist chart.
No, they didn't.
They did. It measures 4 different clubs in Atlanta. It only comes out once a month. The number one artist the whole time has been Future. Obviously, Future is a very, very big artist in Atlanta.
Right.
But one song has been number one for December, January, and February. It has not crossed over nationally yet.
They do this chart.
I'm not making this up.
Every month in Atlanta.
Once a month. They're trying to expand it to other. There's a company called, I think, DJ Monitor that monitors the songs played by DJs.
So then it is no shock at all that the Hawks wanted to do this. I mean,
Of course.
even Billboard is like, all right, we're going to do a chart. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's the top 10 songs played in strip clubs in Atlanta, and they're trying to get other strip clubs. I mean, this is a new thing. They just launched it last August, but they want to measure what songs those DJs are playing because it is a driver of a lot of songs and a lot of artists.
Well, to answer your question, no, I did not know.
Yeah. So the number one song for December, January, and February, 3 months, this has been the most played song in strip clubs. It has not broken out nationally yet, I think, but after 3 months as being the dominant song in Atlanta strip clubs, I could see this song taking off. It's an artist, I had never heard of him, I'm going to be honest, Belly Gang Cushington. You know Belly Gang Cushington,
Belly Gang.
featuring YK Niece. You might know YK Niece because she had a viral hit last year. There's an artist named Pluto and had a song that she was featured on, and it was a big viral hit called, this is a Whim Whammy.
Well, bitch, you burnt that. Well, oh, bitch, I'm turned out.
So YK Niece getting her name out there. I know it's one of your favorites. So she hopped on a remix of the Belly Gang Cushington song that has been number one for 3 straight months in Atlanta strip clubs. This is Friend Do.
Bounce that ass just like your friend do. I'ma throw this paper, bitch. I show you what a 10 do. I'ma invite your friend, bitch. I told you she could 10 to.
But it is blowing up.
Oh God! Why
in
are you trying
the
to
South.
make me feel old? I get that.
You're like, put that Def Leppard back on.
But here's the thing: it's just sort of like those songs. I can't be hypocritical now and just be like, oh, we're doing a strip club thing, so now I like those songs. No, those both of those songs you just played are, as I have ad nauseum complained about, what's wrong with hip hop now.
Yeah.
Because even before you played the second one, I knew it was going to sound very much like the first one.
Yes.
Anyway, but hey,
But
listen,
it's about strippers.
but it is part of
Maybe in content. You know, like sometimes you hear a song and then if you see it in a movie or see it live, you get a new appreciation for it. Maybe if you see strippers on poles to that song, you're like, you know what? Now I get the appeal of this.
No, I don't think it would do it for me. I would be that guy in the club just going like, hey, can you put on something else? Like I'm spending
Play
more
Pony.
time. I'd spend more time talking to the DJ than anybody else.
I think that might be a sign it's time to not go to strip clubs. I think that might be
Why
it.
I don't.
But as much as music has gone into strip clubs have also come out into music because there's a not insignificant list of artists who started as strippers, and some might surprise you. The most famous one, of course, is Cardi B. It's a well-known part
Yes.
of her origin story, is that for 3.5 years she was a stripper. She told that story about sometimes she would drug the guys and rob them, which is not great. But that is
Not good at all.
no, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. But you know, that is Cardi B has never been ashamed about that. She's like, that's part of where I came from. Courtney Love, the widow of Kurt Cobain, leader of the band Hole, financed Hole by dancing at Jumbo's Clown Room in Los Angeles, which is technically a strip club, I
technically a
guess.
strip club.
It's
kind
a
of like a
burlesque.
Go-go dancers.
It's like hipster strip club.
Yeah.
It's
And it gets a little
gets weird.
weird. Yeah.
It's a little weird in there. So it makes sense. Like, if you don't know what Jumbo's Clown Room is, the fact that Courtney Love was a stripper there kind of tells you everything you need to know about what that vibe is.
Yes.
Lady Gaga actually did burlesque and a little bit of stripping before she got famous. Eve
Not know.
from the Rough Riders, legendary rapper. Eve was a stripper. Iggy Azalea helped finance her trip to America by stripping before she broke out. And
thank you, Australia.
it is not just the ladies. I mean, amongst non-singers, obviously Channing Tatum, like Cardi B, it's a very famous story. That's where Magic Mike came from. T-Pain, who was in love with a stripper, did a little bit of stripping early on.
What?
Yeah.
T-Pain?
I don't know if he was auto-tuned then, but yeah, T-Pain did it. And then one singer says that he did it once. He tried it one time, and
he did not.
All he said was it was a, quote, terrible experience. Neo.
Wow.
Neo.
That doesn't entirely shock me, but
like that's not exactly his music.
Yeah.
But he said he tried it, did it once, was not for him. So he went to his backup plan, I guess, and it worked out all right.
Just to write, millions and millions of dollars worth of huge hits.
Giant smash hits. But, so yeah, strip clubs, I mean, whatever your thoughts on it, whether you enjoy them, whether you don't enjoy them, whether you think it's, disrespectful to women, whether you think it's empowering to women. There's no denying the impact it has had on culture and on music. It has. Yeah. And like I said, it used to be just, like in the 70s, there would be, maybe they play some disco or something classic rock, like Hot Blooded, and people could just dance to it. But it became such a big business that now you see, particularly in hip-hop, they write songs tailored to it. We played a couple, but there are dozens and dozens and dozens of songs about strippers and poles and making it rain, and it's a whole sub-genre almost unto itself.
Yeah, and like the biggest evidence is exactly what you said about this chart that Billboard created in Atlanta, because it does sell music. It helps sell music. And
it is also like a tastemaker chart. Like I said, some of these songs, like Future is obviously a very big artist. There's some really big names on there, but there are songs that.
But for up and coming artists, if you're an up and coming artist in Atlanta and you make it on that chart, you start to feel like, okay, I might make it. I could maybe get a deal. I can get a record deal.
Well, this Belly Gang Cushington might blow up because of this. Like, we laugh, but he could break out and be huge.
Now.
Yeah.
In the next year or two, when you hear about a Belly Gang Cushington,
and YK Nice has that song that just really crosses over. This is where they got their start, and they will always owe a little something to it.
You heard it here first, unless you're in
maybe
Atlanta.
Last too. I don't know.
Maybe last,
but
unless
no, probably not.
That is gonna do it for. So again, the Hawks will not be having their Magic City celebration, but if you're in Atlanta, you can have your own celebration.
You can go get some lemon pepper wings,
or
that's what it's about.
You could just stay. It's just about the wings, or you could stay where you are right now and just listen to some of these hits.
Yeah.
And that is going to do it for us this week on Get to the Hook. We will see you next time.